Hello guys, and welcome back to another challenge. We're back on our 3x3 nonsense. We're gonna roll the dice here in just a second and see what we get and build a little vignette. Let's get going. Whoop. Alrighty, it looks like we rolled a 7, which is only base game. Oh, that's gonna be really fun and exciting. Okay, admittedly, I'm talking to you like I just learned this. I did pre-record this footage, full disclosure, because I don't have the time to do the challenges live. I build a lot faster when I'm not trying to narrate everything because I start worrying about ahs and ums. And I think that's just how it's going to be for right now, because the next few months, I'm going to be fighting for recording time. This was one of my patented lunch break builds, actually, believe it or not. And it's actually one of my patented lunch break edits, too, which are becoming more and more frequent, because it's the only time I'm at my computer. I'm not running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Hopefully things will start slowing down soon, but there's like this fun little patch of summer every year where it's just crazy. And I try to keep up my recording schedule as much as I can, because I don't want to get behind then for the holidays, which are also crazy. And I want to try to keep a speed build up or a challenge or something Sims build related up each week if I can. For right now, things might change in the future, but right now I'm really happy doing that. So anyways, we rolled a base only build, which means we're going to be using base game. I decided to go with a bedroom. And at first I was going to do a kid's room, and then I kind of decided maybe I ought not. I wanted to do a kid's room because at first I wanted to do the bunk beds, but then I kind of had this idea in my head for like this like more like teen adult like first apartment room. So we ended up doing that, and it's definitely not a functional room, but it doesn't really need to be a functional room because again they're doll houses, they're vignettes. And we did do all base game. I know that window doesn't look base game, but it is base game. It matches the Moschino windows. But they gave it to us after the fact, and they gave it to us on an oops, I believe. It was like the high loft house, loft something. Industrial loft, that's the kit. The industrial loft kit. I know it sounded like I was losing my mind, but in fact I was like single eye staring at the window trying to remember, like one eye squint, you know. So we ended up doing a bedroom, and we ended up doing, base game is always a fun thing because like, especially with the Sims, the delivery drops. I was gonna call it the Sim 4 supply drops, and I was like, that's not right. With the delivery drop thing, the new thing. We get a lot of new base game stuff, and I don't like. I see it, and it's very cool, like these pictures, but I don't always think about how to use them because I'm very blessed to have packs. I'm very lucky to be able to use packs, and a lot of times there's like my favorite piece from this pack, my favorite piece from that pack. So it's always fun to go back to base game and see what's been added, what swatches have changed, what your design aesthetic will let you do now with the stuff. Like my style is always changing a little bit. I'm always trying new things and learning new things. I'm trying really hard to grow in that way. And so it's kind of fun to go back and do things that maybe I haven't tried before. Or like in this case, like I never would have thought to layer photos before, but I was kind of layering photos and things, pictures, or you'll be watching like all of the amazing Sims 4 media we have out and around now. This picture wall took so long, you guys. I struggled with this. This took my entire lunch break. This was actually, I'm trying to think, maybe this was a 2 lunch break build, because yeah, I think this wall took like an entire lunch break. It sped up a little bit. I've been trying not to speed them up so bad because a family member watched one and she was like, ooh, these could cause nausea, and I was like, oh crap. Some of them are going to be more sped up. Fortunately, some of them have to be able to even get all the footage in a thing, and then some of them are just going to be jerky no matter what I do because I unfortunately built that way. I'm trying to work on it. I am, believe me. But a family member was like, hey, these are kind of nausea inducing, and I was like, oh no. So I'm trying to slow it down a little bit and not move the camera so much and not speed them up quite so much, so it's a little bit slower, but it's still sped up quite a bit because I am slow, you guys. Holy cow. Like, decisions are hard, and especially like I've had a couple like days at work where I've been like a little bit annoyed or like a lot of bit annoyed, not at coworkers or anything. I had lovely coworkers, but just like in general annoyed, you know. And so a lot of times when I do that, then I'll come into a Sims build and it'll either be really fun and slow and easy and just chill, or it'll be like nothing's working and I'm frustrated. And it's kind of funny because like when it's what I need and I'm being chill about things, I am the slowest builder in the history of ever. Oh my, it's crazy. So, but I wanted to do something different with the wall above the bed. I knew I wanted some sort of statement piece, but I wasn't finding what I wanted in the base game, so I just sort of built it. I love a good gallery wall. This is arguably not a great gallery wall, but it works. It's getting there. I wanted to add more color. I don't know in the end. I could play with this for hours and still probably never quite be happy with it. But you know, I think it's an interesting take on things. I definitely fought with what to put there for a while. I still think maybe there's too much verticality on that one side. I don't know, but it gets there, and I'm happy with it in the end. It ends up being kind of a blue and green bedroom, and I tried to add some personality to it by adding in some hobbies and things, and the window kind of goofed us a little bit because it took away a lot of our wall space, and then the gallery made it so busy we couldn't put a lot more on the wall. But again, it's also a tiny bedroom, so like realistically, how much stuff do you need here anyway? There was a nightstand I wanted to use, and I can't even remember which one it was now, but I remember being really attached to it. I forgot that got big, and I ended up not going for it. I also wanted to size it down at first, but it is so annoying to put stuff on size down nightstands that I believe I ended up just giving up on it. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I didn't, but I'm pretty sure I ended up giving up on it and just making it bigger, because I moved things back and forth a lot in this build too, because I'm finding the trick to dollhouses like this, non-functional dollhouses, is getting the layering right, and I'm definitely not saying I did that, but I'm saying I understand that that's a problem I'm having. So trying to figure out the layering and stuff. Here's I think where I decided that needed to just be bigger. Yeah, because I couldn't get it to come up right, I think. Or maybe I did. I can't remember now. Maybe I left it small. Who knows? Yeah, no, I sized it back up. I was like, this doesn't make sense. Anyways, the point I was making is getting the layering right, getting like the textures to layer right, getting the correct vibes. That's all like, it's all in the layering, and I haven't figured that out yet. But it's good practice. I'm kind of considering these like studies. I had talked about this in a build not too terribly long ago. I've started painting again, which is really fun and really good for the brain, and it's really nice to have a non-computer hobby, because I have the horses and I love them, which I'm very excited about Horse Ranch. By the time you see this, it's already out, and I'm sure I'm loving it. But at the moment, I'm still waiting very patiently, not so patiently for it. It comes out on my birthday too, and I'm so excited. It feels like a personal birthday gift. But anyways, I digress. I work with the horses. I have my horses on property, and they're like my love bugs. They're part of my family, but I don't consider that a hobby. That's more just like a lifestyle situation. And then I have the Sims, obviously, which is a hobby. I do a little bit of pixel art, and I've been trying to get into game dev again. It's not going well, but I've been trying to get into game dev. And I crochet on occasion when my arms aren't all busted up from work and stuff. But I've started painting, watercolor painting again, and I've gotten really into the idea of like, it's either a good piece or it's a learned from piece. And those are like studies, basically. It's the idea of like, you're just painting kind of the same thing in a bunch of different forms, and sometimes it sucks, but you learn something from it. And I've been kind of treating my Sims builds like that a little bit, and it's taken a little bit of the pressure off. Like with this build, is this my best work ever? No. Was it a really good study in colors and pieces I don't usually use? Well, the colors I use a little bit more, but like pieces I don't usually use? Yeah, it was, and I think it was really helpful, and I think thinking about it that way really informs future builds, and it also just makes it a little bit easier to screw up. You know, like you're not like stressing about it, you're just like, that was a mess, it's cool, moving on. Here I am trying to figure out how to put a dresser in. I don't think I achieved that goal, if I recall. I don't think I managed to put a dresser in, but we will see. It's been a while since I built this one. I did like a whole string of lunch break builds, and then finally sitting down in a quiet enough house. I have like next hour and a half or so to do voiceovers, where it's gonna be relatively calm, and then I have to head on out. I get to see the Mario movie tonight, not in theaters or anything, but I get to see it. We're gonna make some popcorn and have a movie night, which is good because we haven't been able to hang out in a while, so I'm excited for that. But it means I gotta get going here pretty soon, and I have recorded so many voiceovers, I'm like a little bit brain dead. I went with sort of this light wood color because it's what the bed dictated, And it was, I really enjoyed it. I like that light wood color. I wish more things, came in that light wood. Like, I would love it if that cushion below the bed was a lighter tone. I don't mind the gray, but it would be nice. I just kind of wish we could mix bed frames and, sheets. And I wish we could mix, like, cushions and, like, couch frames and stuff. Oh, that llama is so adorable. It would be quite nice. Honestly, I'm really in a needing a color wheel kind of phase of life right now. And I've been treating Sims 4 Studio like my own personal color wheel, which is a little more in depth than is probably necessary. I wish I could figure out Blender better and make my own meshes, because I feel like I'd totally be a CC maker if I could do that. I really enjoy designing things like that. But as it is, I'm really loving recoloring things. Maybe I'll get brave one day and show this off. I talk about them enough. Maybe one day. I'm trying to decide how to do it though, because like I just recolor random things when I want them recolored, right? And I don't show them on the channel because that wouldn't be fair because you don't have them. But then, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, if I wanted to show y'all, how would I do it? Should I put together a room and then just release, like, the room in those colors, like a few different swatches or something? We could set up multiple different rooms, but then it would be, like, across packs? Or should I try to, like, recolor whole packs? That sounds daunting. I don't want to do that. Or should I just do, like, individual pieces? Like, because to me, what I think makes the most sense is, like, build a room with whatever I got going on. Like, just go pack crazy. And then release all those recolors as a pack. And then I think, like, if I set it up right, you should be able to just go through and, like, pick the ones you have and set those up. So, like, if you're going through, like this room, if I were to recolor everything in this room and then release this is all base game. But if it wasn't all base game, you'd be able to be like, oh, I don't have that guitar, but I have that bed, and I want that bed recolor. Does that make sense on how to do it? I honestly don't know. But I've been kind of thinking about doing that because I have a lot of fun doing recolors. It's really enjoyable to me. And I've been thinking about sharing that with the group. Although I don't know if there's a big market for it. I don't know. These are lots of... I talk about this like I have time. I talk about this like recoloring isn't like a 5-minute thing I do when I can't sleep at night. I'm just in a very artsy mood lately. I've been loving doing pixel art. I've been loving doing painting when I get the chance. I try to cut out a minimum of an hour each weekend to do something artsy, because I feel like my brain craves it. And I don't mean that in like an, oh, I'm special and artsy. I think everyone's brain craves being creative in some way, and I find that I'm a much happier person when I actually like give myself a chance to do that and do it in a way that's not related to my career or in a way that's like going to be judged by people, because I also love photography. I love to go walking out with my camera and stuff, and giving myself a chance to do that and not be like, okay, but I need to sell these photos, or okay, but I need to figure out how to monetize this artwork, or okay, but I should be turning this pixel art to stickers, something like that. Although that would be fun. But not forcing myself to do that. Having an outlet that's just for fun, that's really important to me, I'm finding. Especially as I'm getting older, I just need those decompressed moments. So, and I advise you to find those decompressed moments. It may not be art. It doesn't have to be art. It may not be, any sort of fiber arts or anything. It might be cooking. It might be sitting on your porch. It might be going for a walk. Walks are very good. I don't walk a lot right now just because it's like 100 degrees outside, and I'm not exaggerating. Yeah, just find something. I journal before bed too. I highly suggest that. This is weird. This is a weird conversation we've gotten on. I'm gonna stop. I've gone off track completely. It's just because this bedroom is zen. Anyways, though, I've been talking for a while, and I've got a couple more of these to record, and I don't want to completely lose my voice before I get to the end of them, because I'm not gonna have another voiceover session for a while. So I'm gonna go. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're feeling loved, and if you're not feeling loved, please know that I love you, and I'm glad you exist, and I'm glad you're here. And you make the world a better place just by existing in it. And if you don't believe that, know that I believe that. And find something that makes you happy and brings you joy, and try to do it at least once a week. And I love you, and I will see you all later. Bye!